Morning. Look, is that your symbol up there? I can see. Can't make out the other one. Say hello if you're there. Let me know who's there. Anybody else there? Can you say hello? I'm just trimming the cellophane around the oasis. Oh dear, is there any Linda here watching? It's probably because I'm half an hour earlier than I normally am, but unfortunately I've got a lot on today. Got a lot of orders going out. Very busy day for me today. Who else is there? I've got 4 people watching, but only Linda said hello. Ginny, morning Ginny. Who else have we got? Been busy picking in my garden this morning. Look, hyacinths, narcissi. Got 3 different coloured hyacinths. Got a lovely cream coloured one, pink and blue. Aren't they beautiful? So they're all cut in my garden this morning. My bulbs this year were really good, so I'm going to plant even more next year. And these beautiful narcissi, look, aren't they gorgeous? And the smell of these is just outstanding. Look, there's one. How many heads on that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 heads on that one. Beautiful, isn't it? If you could smell it. They are divine. And the hyacinths, as I say, they're all picked in my garden this morning, and these are all going to go in this basket. Aren't they beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. They smell divine. Absolutely gorgeous. See that white one, still half of it's coming out of the back there. So it's green first. Morning Maria. These are absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And also what I picked is some broom. This is it's called broom. I've forgotten what its first name is called. It's I do know it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. This is broom anyway, and this is a lovely outline for basket work. So they are beautiful. Look at that. And it comes out. It actually comes out a sort of yellow colour, but when the buds come out, they're actually red. Look, it's quite strange. I always assumed it to be red when it came out, but it's not. They actually come out yellow, believe it or not. So that's really strange. But so that's a nice thing to outline. For my greenery today, I'm going to be using the broom, and I'm going to be using the Pistachio that I usually use, which I love, which is quite it's very long lasting really, and the Parvi Eucalyptus as well. These are all lovely foliages and they last a long time, and they're great in all arrangements. So these are really, really pretty. and they're nice and soft, nice soft leaves, so they look nice in arrangement work. It's nothing too harsh. So we're going to be using those. I've got some beautiful, I haven't grown these myself, so I will grow some, I'll try and grow some next year. These are Dutch double tulips, and they are absolutely beautiful. Not as much, no scent on these, I'm afraid. Just nice and fresh smelling, but no scent. The scent is going to be in the narcissi and the, and then I've got some beautiful smaller headed, they're still large headed roses, but they're smaller size, and some lovely orange peachy gerbers. So we're going to put all of those in. So, and these, if you missed it, were all picked in my garden this morning. I'm going to put hyacinths in. The smell is divine, and narcissi. Look at those double narcissi, aren't they beautiful? All picked in my garden this morning. So they're going to be as fresh as they can be. You won't get any fresher than that. So the first thing we do, I'm just going to tilt the, so you can see what I'm doing better. So this is a basket, and I've lined it with cellophane, and I've got a block of oasis. So just pick the nicer side of the basket first, and then we're just going to tape that in, just so that it doesn't fall out. If I can find the end of the tape, which I can't. There it is. So we just secure that. Just secure that to one side. Bring it across. It's just to anchor in the oasis, really. The oasis is obviously what we fill with water. That's where that word comes from. And it just stops it moving too much. So all we've got there then is the oasis in cellophane, lining the basket. So that means we can then water down the middle, and obviously it won't damage the basket or make the basket wet. We don't want the basket wet underneath. Morning, breeder. Alright, so we've got our basket, and now we're going to outline. And I'm going to use some of this lovely broom that I picked from the garden this morning, just to get my points. This is lovely for points because obviously it's pointed, nice and pointed. So we'll just use a few of these just to get that outline either end, and we're just getting our shape at the ends. Glorious day here today. Sun is shining, so hopefully we'll have a nice weekend. So we're just going to put a few of that one's a bit long. Obviously when you're going around the side you want it to taper in a little bit, you don't want it too long. So your points at the end are going to be your longest points, and the others then, you can just trim it down a little bit. So you're coming in like sort of like a diamond shape. So we just outline the bottom here with this. As you can see from the front, we're going in. This bit here will be shorter than your point, so it's like a diamond shape at the bottom. So small side of the diamonds, this side of the basket, and the longer sides are your full points. Too long. So just getting this nice diamond shape around the bottom. Morning, Adele. Your flowers are ready. They're in the arbour when you want them. Just come and pick them up. They're there. We've done them early this morning. Your mum. So we're just literally going around the edge, getting our diamond shape. So the one on this side, it's a little bit short. So basically roughly you've got a diamond shape at the bottom, if you can see that. From this tip at the front is your small side to your long side at the end here. So that's your diamond shape. So we'll just put a few more in and then we'll build upwards. So once you've got your sort of diamond shape on the bottom, you've got the basis at the bottom of your shaping. So you kind of keep within that shape, within that diamond shape. Okay, so you can't really see it very well because it's so thin foliage, but we're going to use some other foliage now. So this is eucalyptus, Parva eucalyptus. We'll fill in with a bit of that. I've just cut loads of small pieces off a larger piece I had. So we'll use some of these again for around the edge. And you just strip everything that goes into the oasis. Obviously you strip. You don't want any of the leaves going in, and then a nice sharp diagonal cut. Just to give lots of different textures. We love texture. Texture is the most important thing in any arrangement, which is what I was always taught, and I abide by it as well. It's the most important thing, really. So lots of different types of foliage. If you use sort of 3 or 4, then that gives you a nice basis. Right, so we're going to put a little bit of the pistachio in now. This is pistachio. I use this for everything. It's lovely in hand ties. It lasts for a long time. So we start putting a bit of pistachio in. Just bring it round. Has a lovely smell of this one as well. Parva, it's sort of, I suppose, a little bit minty. I suppose it's a bit minty smell, which is quite nice. So I'm just bringing that round. So you're filling through. And you're just getting that nice elongated, you're just working your diamond shape down and around. And we collect. More. So you're getting that nice overall shape. Morning, Georgie. So you're getting a nice overall shape, but we're still working down towards our points. So I use a bit more Parva for that because the pistachio is a bit more bushy. So we'll get a bit more Parva for that. And the Parva comes in great big stems like this, really big long stems, so you just take off what you need from the bottoms, and then the tops you can use in hand ties. So we'll have a few sprigs like that going through, so that brings it down, it brings the shape down to the edge. Okay. You could smell the hyacinths here. They're absolutely beautiful. They smell so good. I think maybe it's when you first cut them they smell really strong, I don't know, but they are lovely. So we're just getting some different textures with the Parva Euc, and we've got the pistachio and the broom. So we'll put a bit more broom through it as well, just to loosen it a little bit. So this is broom. This is all cut in my garden this morning. I'm growing a lot more foliage and flowers in the garden this year. So hope to be, I'm on this course about growing English flowers. So I'm learning as I'm going along. I've sown a lot of seeds, so we'll see how many of them survive. And I hope to be able to, one day at the end of the summer, when we've got some lovely flowers, to do jam jars of flowers. Maybe just do jam jars of flowers that locals can buy. Just be nice to have fresh flowers. Just a little jam jar, just to lighten your weekend, you know, just something nice and pretty that's English grown, fresh flowers, so we don't have to import so much Dutch stuff. Obviously I get, you know, most of my flowers from Holland, but I want to introduce a lot more English flowers. There's a lovely lady that lives down in, where is it now, a couple of villages away, and she sells dahlias, and I was kind of hooked last year when I bought a load of dahlias off her to put in my arrangements. But I remember years ago when I was little, my mum and dad used to have dahlias in the garden, and my mum was always put off by them by the earwigs. She said, "Oh, I don't like earwigs," and apparently they do like them apparently, but I'm learning ways that we can grow them without having too many earwigs, and how to control them with other pests as well. So it's about having the right pests to get rid of the other pests, if you know what I mean. So it's about growing ecologically. So here we go. So we're getting a nice full basket. So you know, this is going to be my front, so I want a few more through here. So it's quite a lot of foliage, and people used to say when I had the shop, said, "Oh, just bung a bit of foliage in, and you know, like, you don't have to charge me for the foliage." But do you know what? It's actually the foliage is what makes it. The flowers are there to highlight it and to focus the arrangement, but it's the foliage that actually can be the expense of your arrangements, because you have to put so much in sometimes, depending on how much oasis you've used, because obviously you don't want to see your oasis. Let's have it. So yeah, it's all about getting the right balance as well with your foliage. You don't have to hide every single bit of your oasis, because you want to leave room for your flowers to go in. Hopefully have that as the front. Right, okay, I think that's enough for the time being. Just tidy this down a little bit. So that's your outline of your foliage. Morning, Kenneth. Is it still snowing in Sweden? I know you've had a lot of snow up there, haven't you? Right, so I think the first thing we'll put in is our hyacinths, and if you could smell these, they are divine. They absolutely, I've got a cream one, a pink one, and a blue one. So we're going to put these. And if you watched last week, you saw me with the sticks. So we use kebab sticks or cocktail sticks or whatever sticks that you need for the right height. Morning, Monica. For the right height of your plant. So these are quite fleshy, but to keep them longer in arrangements, you just feed the get this out of the way a minute. You just feed the stick. If you give it a little point, some of them come with points, but these ones didn't. And you just feed it through, holding the stem with your hand, right in the middle. Just feed it through, and you're feeling it as you push it through. So you can feel it going through the stem, but you don't want it to come out the side. So you just keep pushing until it's secure. Okay, so that just strengthens the, and obviously if you wanted it a bit longer, you can have it a bit longer, because all of this will drink water, but I don't need it that long. So just going to cut it off there. So that's one. I could actually use this other one as well for the second one. So you hold the stem and you push the sharp edge of that, and you can feel it as it's going through, and as long as it's not piercing the side, you know you're doing it right. Okay, so that one's gone in lovely. So that just excuse me, just stiffens the stem. This one actually is quite, this one is like a double stem, see this one, but we'll put one in anyway just to show you. So again, you can just feel it as you go up. Okay, so those are done, so we can put those in. Now just decide where you're going to put them. So you want to put them sort of like roughly in triangular sort of shape. You want to be able to see them all, and you just need, maybe go diagonally, or 1, 2, 3. That's what I'll probably do. See, so I don't need all of that length on there. So I'm going to put one in here. So you just move the greenery out the way, and just push it straight into the oasis, and push it in and just leave it. Don't pull it out and keep poking it in, because otherwise what you'll do is you'll damage the stem. So decide where you're going to put it first before you do it, because you don't want the this stem's a bit fleshy. Okay, we don't need that much anyway. You don't want to make a massive hole in your oasis as well, because then obviously you can't put anything else in it. And if you want to, you can actually make a little hole with a pen or something as well, which I do sometimes, just to help the stem go in. So this one is it's like a double stem, so it's quite big. So I'm going to make a hole where I want to put it. So that's on this side. So I just make a hole with the pen. So just jiggle it about a little bit so you've got plenty of room, but it's still going to be secure. And then we put so you find the hole with your finger and then push it down. It needs to be a bit, this is really big stem, this one, so it needs to be opened a bit more. So just go in with the pen, open it up a bit more. Push it in. There we go. So we've got that one there, and the blue, and we'll put the pink towards the front, I think. So we're going to need this one shorter. This one won't need to be so long because it's going towards the front. So again, we'll make another little hole with the pen. Don't need to use a pen, to use any type of stick, or but I just find it because I have them here. There we go. So the three of those are secure. So there's your blue and your cream and your pink in there. All right. So they're like your main what we call the focal flowers. Okay, that's it there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then we're going to fill in with our other flowers. So I'm going to use my the roses first, to do a bit more outlining around the edge, just to keep the shape. So 1. All your stem, all your leaves that are going into the oasis. So these are just going inside the length of your longest stems that you had at the end. So they're just going inside the length of your broom that we put in. These were your points, so these just go just inside both ends. Then a little bit shorter. And then obviously you come round at the front. So you see you're getting your shape along the front there as well. So you've got your one at the end, your tip, and then you've got 2 there at the front, and then you're going to do the same at the back, because this is an all-around basket, so you mustn't forget the back. So 2 shorter ones again. Some baskets you just do front facing, but this one actually is all around. So it will be seen from all sides. So your back side needs to be looking as good as your front side. So okay. And we've got lots of lovely tulips. I think I showed you these ones. I didn't grow these in my garden, but these are double pink tulips. I can't remember their name if anyone's going to ask me now. These should go straight into the oasis. So I think we'll go in between our roses. Do a few on the bottom level. The good thing about the double ones is that they're quite, the stems are quite hard, so that makes it easier to go into the oasis. And sometimes with spring flowers they can be a bit fleshy, and they don't always want to go into the oasis. So we'll do a few of those. We'll do a few at the back just to. This one's got a little baby one. A little baby one. Get rid of all the dead leaves around the side. In fact, there's two, look. Two little ones. A family of them. That one's going to go down there. Another one here, look. The little baby. Just adds to the different textures and shapes, and just looks more natural as well. This is a natural basket. So we want it to look like it's just come out of your garden. Okay. So we'll put a few more of those through. Just get rid of any leaves. When you pull the leaves off, just be careful that you don't strip them. Morning, Joan. You're very good at good explaining. Okay. Oh, that's nice to know. And that one's a bit sharp. Sometimes if you get them at a better angle, they'll go in better. That's it. So you're just coming up a layer now, and you're just doing it a little bit shorter, a little bit higher. Okay, so it comes up a little bit higher. I'll have a few more of those. Oh, look at this one. Look, there's 3 on this one. Amazing. I've seen tulips like this before. So we're going to move around now, and we're going to put another one a little bit higher at the top. Again, this one's got a thick stem. I think that's why they've got thicker stems, because it's almost like a baby, a little family of. I'm going to make a hole for this one. Seems a little bit. That's better. If you make a hole with your pen and just guide the tulip in if it doesn't want to go in, because they can snap very easily if you're not careful. And we'll put one through the top as well. So you can see how it's coming together. Okay. Right, and then we're going to put our beautiful narcissi. Look at these double narcissi, all picked from my garden this morning. So as I was saying before, I'm going to grow a lot more bulbs. They were brilliant this year, actually. Really good. The only ones that didn't come up well were the ones in the garden. So I don't know why they didn't come up well, the ones in the garden. But so I'm going to put some of these through. You may need to make a hole for these as well. They're a bit softer. You'll with experience, you'll find when you start pushing it in, if it doesn't go in straight away, then you know it's going to be a bit fleshy. It's a bit soft. You could actually, I think what I might do as well, I'm going to use the sticks with these as well, just to. The thing is with the daffodils and narcissi, their stems are hollow anyway, so they're easy to put a stick into. So we'll just give it a bit more support. That's better. There we go. And then you see how easy it sits. It sits in there like that. Okay, so we'll have a few of these. So we'll use the sticks. So you just put the stick in the middle of the stem, just as far as it'll go, and then cut it where you want to put it in. And they go into the oasis so much easier then. We'll have one along this side. Don't need it that long. Still too long. Oh, there's my stick. I left the stick in there. Okay, let's put the stick back in. You can leave the stick a bit longer because that will secure it in the oasis. But as long as the end of the stem is reaching the oasis, that's the main thing. So I've got a few. I've got a small buddy one. I'm going to put that at the front. Again, just put the few. Oh, I've got one more narcissa. I'm going to put that at the back. So although it's the back, it's still important, because if it was on a table, you'd see it all the way around. So it still needs to look nice from the back. There we go. Okay, we're going to wire the gerbers, and you see me do this today. Good morning. Good morning. Can you give the name of the types of white daffodils? I don't know what they're called. I bought them last year, and they're from my garden. But I'll try and look it up for you. They're a double narcissi, but I don't know what they're actually called. But I'll try and find out for you. All right, who was that asking that? June Ann. I will try and find out for you. I'll put it in the comments later, June. If anyone asks any questions on here I haven't seen, I do come back to them usually. So with the gerbers, you know how to wire gerbers. I've shown this a long time. You get your wire, just poke it slightly. Hold the beginning of the front of the flower with your finger, and just literally put it into the top of the head, just gently, and then just twist as you go down the stem. You don't actually need the whole wire, so it's a bit of a waste really, because we're going to cut that there. And then obviously that goes into your oasis. I'll show you again. You could, if you want to be frugal, you could cut your wires in half, but I don't usually bother, but it's a bit of a waste. But so you go into under the head, hold it with one hand, hold the wire with one hand, and twist down the stem. Okay, so you can see how it gets secured with the wire. I'm going to put another one here. That's a bit long, that one. Remember I told you last week about when you put this in bleach, can you see how hard the stem is? These aren't soft gerbers, these are rock hard gerbers, and that's because I put a teaspoon of bleach or a capful of bleach in with your water, and obviously just put your gerbers in there, and that stops disease. It does discolour the bottom of the stem a bit, but obviously you don't usually see that anyway if it's in an arrangement. But you can see how hard those are. You can hear how hard it is. That's rock hard. That's what we call Viagra for gerbers. So that works. I can assure you it works. This gerber is a little bit, I don't know why it's got soft at this end, but the bottom is rock hard. This bit's a bit soft, so I'm going to put a little stick in here as well, just to secure it. Because the problem is if it's soft and it doesn't go into the oasis, it's not going to take. That's better. That's better. There we go. And the good thing, if they're wide, you can manipulate them a little bit as well. Obviously you can't push and pull it too much, but so you push your wire in, just twist. You see, that time I've just used half a wire, so that was a bit more frugal. I think we'll have one at the top here. Just put them. You want them to look. You want it to look natural. You don't want it to look too like the basket, like the vase of flowers I did last week. You want it to look natural and as if they're just all, you know, they've just all come. Twist them round, so they're just, that's it, they're just pointing all the way around. Okay, that's great. Alright, now I've got a few more tulips. I'm just going to fill in now with whatever tulips. What gauge wire? I think there's 7s. I can't remember off the top of my head. They're the ones I always buy. I have put it in there a couple of times before, Jennifer. I think they're 7 gauge, but I'll try and find. I've probably thrown the packet away now. I probably don't. I just picked them up from the wholesalers. I don't even think about it anymore. I will try and find out for you. few more tulips. And I've also got some sea lavender. This is sea lavender, and that's I'm going to fill in with a little bit of this. I forgot I had this, so I'm just going to fill in with a bit of this. So you use this as a filler, like you would with gyp or your chrysanthemum sometimes. So just and with this sort of work, it just gives a nice sort of floaty effect. So just dot it through. Again, you want it to look natural, like it's just coming out of your garden. You're not going for a formal, you're not going for anything formal. So just dotting it around. And the good thing about this is it has a lovely elongated point, so it's a great one to fill in if you've got any holes. And again, we've got some more broom here. I'm just going to fill in with that as well. This was the broom, again cut from my garden today. So that's what I'd encourage anybody that loves anything to do with flowers. If you've got a garden, try and grow as many things as you can that you can use in your arrangements. It will save you money in the long run. I mean, obviously you've got to buy the plants and nurture them, so that obviously takes time and money as well. But I'd say that's what I'm learning on this course, and I just want to grow more English flowers. So that's the idea of this course that I'm on, and that's what I'm trying to show you what to do in this group as well, that just you can learn a few tips. What else do we need? A bit more. What colour is your broom? I was saying this earlier, although it looks red, it's actually yellow, like a yellowy orange colour. But when it comes out in bud, you can see, if you focus that, it's actually red, but it actually comes out a sort of yellowy colour. So it's I put it in when I first moved here 5 years ago, and now it's massive. So it does take time to grow, but it's worth it because you get a lot off it. And I do cut it. I cut it all year round I cut it all year round just for the foliage. If I get stuck for some sort of point, so I use it in the winter as well. But in the spring, obviously, soon it will be full of flowers. So I'll do something with it soon when it's in full flower. But at the moment it's only in bud, so you can see it's all starting to come out. So I've got a few little holes here, so I'm just filling in with a little bit of greenery. Because we don't want to see any holes. Got the Gerbers, it's lonely here. And that's the nice thing about the pistachio. You can just put a little bit in, and it just covers any bits that you're trying to hide. Or if you can see a place where you haven't really got room for flower, or you don't need another flower, but you do need. Wish I had a big garden to grow more flowers. Yeah, well, I don't have a big garden. I have a very small cottage front garden. That's all I have. But you just apparently have to be organised. So your bulbs, your hyacinths, your narcissi, your tulips, they can all be planted in the autumn, in the winter, and they go through into the spring. So they're all here now. And if you could smell this, it smells divine. So I'm definitely going to be growing more bulbs next year. As I say, mine don't grow that well in the ground because it's a bit dry. I've got like quite a dry, sandy sort of but I'm going to do more in pots because the ones in pots were fabulous. So you just have to remember, obviously, to water them now and again during the winter if it's dry. I've got another little tulip in the top there, just because I've got him. And he's here. Beautiful, beautiful. A bit more parvy in there. So the different shapes, as I say, if you've got different foliage shapes, you can fill in afterwards and just get everything where you want it, really. So, but don't be frightened. You just have to have a go. I know it's like anything. If you don't have a go, you don't know what you're capable of. And like I say, if you can grow stuff in your garden and it doesn't cost you as much, then that's even better. That's what I'm advocating that now, because the more you can grow, you can always buy little bunches of roses. I'm just going to put a couple of roses through the top there. I've only got one more orange one next. I'll just use that through the top, I think. Just need something. That's that one. So if you can invite your friends, because there's not many people watching. I know it's 14 people watching. We've got over 2,200 members now. It'd be nice to have a few more people watching live. So you could always invite people live to watch the video. Share it in other groups as well. If you can do that for me, that would be great. It'd be nice to see a few more people watching. So if you could do that, that would be great. And obviously still keep inviting your friends and your family, anyone you think might like to learn a little bit about flower arranging and gardening. That's what we're here for. It's going to go in the top there. There, that direction. Go this direction. Sometimes you have to move it around so you can get to the oasis without damaging the flowers that you've obviously already put in. Oh, that's not gone in. Need a little bit longer. It's not quite long enough. That's better. You know, you can, after a while, so you can just feel it take into the oasis. That's it. That's good. So I think we'll put a little bit more sea holly in it. Sea lavender. So that's this one. It's beautiful. First time watching. This is beautiful. Thank you. Morning, Karen. Nice to meet you. Yeah, it's usually about this time, Karen, 10:30 on a Saturday. Sometimes I do it on a Sunday, but I'll always let you know if I change the day. Just depends on how busy I am or what else I've got on, really. But I'm happy to share what I know with everybody. So as I did have 2 flower shops in North London for over 10 years, so I've been doing it long enough, I suppose. And I do classes, mainly just at Christmas for the wreaths, Christmas wreaths, that type of stuff. But I might do a few more if and when we can ever get back into our village hall. And it'd be lovely to see a few of you there. Some of you already do come to my... Morning, Mum, what are you saying? They're probably watching the Duke's funeral build-up. Yeah, possibly. You're probably right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think it's actual build. The actual funeral's not till later, is it? I was going to watch it with you later. But yeah, it's probably a lot of build-up. Yeah, you're probably right. State funeral, really, isn't it? But very quiet for them. It's a shame, really. Queen's going to be on her own. It's very sad, really. She's not going to have anybody there even to hold her hand. It would be very sad, you know. Say goodbye to people, you know, you just want comfort and support, don't you? Morning, Joe, in New Zealand. Oh, evening, sorry, evening, yeah. Of course it is. Evening there, yeah. Yeah. So, and what I do, I don't think I'm going to be able to get much more in there now, but I'll show you it all around. There we go. So if you could smell this. So what we've got in here, we've got peach gerbers, we've got sea lavender, and we've got hyacinths, 3 hyacinths that smell divine, narcissi. This one's a narcissi. We've got a few orange roses, just normal. I can't remember the name of them. Tauros, I think they're called. Going around the bottom just to get your points, and then we've got the beautiful double pink tulip. So I think that's probably about it. Might do. I want to do something down there. No, I think that's enough. Probably if you overdo it, then it can look sort of a bit stuffed, and I don't want it to look stuffed. I want it to look natural. I'll definitely watch you next Saturday again. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm glad people love arrangements that are scented. Yes, there's not many flowers. This is another reason why you need to grow English flowers, because English flowers do keep their scent, because they're grown naturally in their natural environment, how they would be, how they would have been grown in nature. But when they're imported, it's all the chemicals, and they just lose their individuality as well, and they lose their scent, and they're just not the same flower really anymore. So how much would you charge for that? About £60, about £50-60, depends. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, depends. I haven't actually double counted everything, but I will double count anything, and if I'm short of anything, then I'll put a few extras in just to make up the value. But that is about £55-60. All right. The one I did on the website, which had the more blue hyacinths in it, and it had yellow tulips, I think, in it. I think that was £70, that one. So yeah, it just depends how much you put in, because the double tulips are quite expensive, and the hyacinths, and you do have to add everything in, and obviously your time. It's your time that you're giving. But it's lovely just to have scented flowers. So this will go into somebody's house today, and it's just nice to have scented flowers. I mean, we just don't get them really much anymore. So there we go. All right. So I'll put a picture on the website so you can see it in all its glory, because you can't really see it very well on here sometimes. I keep seeing a little hole at the front. I'm going to put one more flower at the front there, but I will do that in a minute, because I'm going to use a couple more. I'm going to grab a couple more narcissi and put them in. Just see, can you see here? See, I can see a hole here. So it just needs one more narcissi there, and I'm going to do that. But I will do that, and I will put a picture on the website. So I hope you enjoyed that, and you learnt something, even if you just learn one little thing. But I would encourage everybody to grow as much as they can, even if you've just got a few pots. You can grow a lot just in a few pots. So as I say, I've got a small cottage garden, and I'll be doing lots more stuff in pots this year. So yeah, okay, have a lovely day, have a lovely weekend. Hope the sun shines for you, and carry on inviting your friends and family for me, so we can get the group even bigger. That would be great. All right, have a lovely day, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thanks for watching.